Yeah, man. Lunch break, bite-sized Bible study. Impossibilities. Can God really accomplish what seems impossible? Too often, our own limitations cause us to doubt God's ability to work through us. Too often, people make excuses for why they think things won't happen instead of thinking about how they might happen, especially when Almighty God is involved. The next time you think a promise from God is impossible or you're facing a seemingly impossible problem, look at the issue again from God's perspective and ask Him to do the impossible for you. God's response. Jesus looked at them intently and said, humanly speaking, it is impossible, but with God, everything is possible. Matthew 19:26. For nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. Luke 1:37. The Lord said to Moses, is there any limitation to my power? Now you will see whether or not my words come true. Numbers 11:23. God's promise. Abba, Father, he said, everything is possible for you. Mark 14:36. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what it look like. I don't care how you feel. All things are possible with God. That recovery from that addiction is possible. That comeback from an early pregnancy or is possible. That injury that you took that is possible. That job that you lost is possible. That heartache that you've been through is possible. That mistake you made is possible. That person is possible. That child that's running is possible. That circumstance is possible. That individual is possible. I don't care what you're going through. It's possible for it to change. Because all things are possible. That dream that you have, that mission, that goal that seems impossible, it is possible for you to do it. Even though right now you may not have all the skills. I remember when God gave me a vision over 15 years ago, and I seen myself doing stuff that I could not do. But I believed it so much. I said, oh, I was on a stage. I was doing video. I was doing this and that and this and that. But at the time, I was just a technician climbing a pole. But I believed that was possible because God wouldn't have showed it to me if it wasn't. So what I do? I ain't say, God, make it happen. I said, all right. In that vision, he showed me I was doing video. I don't know video. So I went back to school and I got my bachelor's degree in videography. Why? Because I believed that it was possible. He said, well, I was speaking on stages and doing this and that. I was kind of intimidated talking in front of people. So what did he do? What I do? I got put myself in a situation where I was talking to myself a lot on the computer, on the phone, until I got my speech comfortable enough to speak. And then doors opened in corporate America. They put me on this big old stage in front of all these corporate people talking about all this big stuff. And I'm just a regular old dude representing like this. You feel me? Why? Because all things are possible to those who believe. I'm not bragging on what I've done. I'm bragging on how great God is. If God put a vision in your heart, I don't care how big it is. I don't care how crazy it looks. I don't care how wild it is. I don't care how many things or obstacles or people said whatever. If you believe and you put in that work, all things are possible. It's up to you to do that, though. Faith without works is dead. Sometimes the work is just believing enough. You already did all the work. You already got all the knowledge, but you ain't got enough faith in yourself to say, if I applied that door's gonna open for me because I'm black, because I'm short, because I'm a woman, because I'm in this environment. I'm not. Nah. All things are possible because of God, not you. I never say I did this, I did that. I say through the grace of God, I made it through a lot. That's what it's all about. Kev James.